Hey, Justin with Unique Componentry. Today we're going to go over the Starbox and some of the cabling and what's included with it and usage of the Starbox on your Starlink Mini. We're not going to go over installation of the Starbox onto your dish. If you haven't done so far, there's a separate QR code on your instruction sheet. Head over there and you can get instructions on how to install your Starbox onto your Starlink Mini. So let's get a closer look at what comes with it. After you've installed it, you're going to open it up, and inside you'll find a bag with cords in it and an elastic sleeve. We're going to set this down. We'll talk about that later. This is the bag with cords in it. It's got 3 cords. I'm going to set that down. I've already taken them out of the bag over here. Little overview. This is a DC 5521. That's 5.5 millimeter OD, 2.1 millimeter ID. 90 degree on both ends. You're going to utilize this cable for a TalentCell type battery, which is the battery that we suggest that offers the longest runtime. That's about 7 hours. Set that aside. Then you're going to find 2 identical USB-C 100 watt 12-inch long cables. One's got blue heat shrink on it. That's just so once you plug them into the box, you can tell the 2 apart. When you just have the 2 ends hanging out, you can tell which one's plugged in where. And then you're going to have this adapter that is the proprietary Starlink DC 5521 to USB-C. All right, option 1, we're going to go over how to utilize your Starbox with the factory 50-foot cord that came with your Starlink Mini. This cord's ridiculously long from Starlink, and I'm sure everyone watching this video has struggled with the rat's nest of this wire. The Starbox gives you a convenient place to store all this. So yeah, we have it wrapped up here. Inside the box, we've taken the pass-through cord that's built into the inside of the box and plugged it into the port. That's going to provide power to the dish from the outside of the box. It's still, so this remains weather tight. So on the outside, we have a port here. We're going to pull that plug out. Female port. Male plug it in. You can plug this into the wall, use your Starlink just like that. No battery pack, no nothing. When you're done with it, pull that out. Make sure you plug this back in to retain the weather resistance. Open up your box. Take this guy. I'm going to roll up the cord. Put that inside the box there. All 50 feet in, door closed. Latch the latches. Now you have a convenient carrying case for that ridiculously long 50-foot cord from Starlink. Option 2 is going to be a TalentCell type battery. This is going to yield the longest runtime, about 7 hours, 7.5 hours. This is a TalentCell model PB240B1. It's 156 watt hours, so just about the biggest battery you can fly with. This battery is going to come with this wall charger, 110 volt wall charger. It can be charged in and out. These are relatively inexpensive, I think like $99. This cable to plug it together with the 290s on it is going to come with your Starbox. And we're going to plug that into that vacant port in the back of your dish. There may be that other cord that's in there plugged into it. You just unplug that guy, plug this in. Let's go ahead and do that. She's plugged in there. Earlier in the video, we talked about this elastic sleeve. This elastic sleeve is to be able to help you get the battery out of the box once it's put in the glove box there. So you're going to stretch that sleeve around any battery you're utilizing. And then we're just going to plug the other end in. The only end here and the only end that it fits in, the 24 volt in and out. And then you have an on-off switch. Go ahead and turn that on. Tug it in there. That's where that Velcro or elastic handle comes in handy. Close the door. You'll see the blue lights on the dish. That indicates that the dish is booting and powered up. A note is that we're making this video inside. Obviously, we don't endorse you using your dish inside. It's super hard on the dish and it'll never boot and find signal inside the building. Just word of caution there. Anyway, that battery pack has a on-off switch. Obviously, you can reach it there. You get a USB-A port. You could run that USB-A port on an adapter through to the USB-C on the outside of the bank right here. And you couldn't charge the battery bank off of that, but you could charge your cell phone off of that if you cabled it appropriately. All right, option 3 we're going to go over is how to utilize a battery bank that uses USB-C connection to power your dish. These are 2 that we recommend based off price point and features. This thing's feature packed. It's a 27650 Anker, has a Bluetooth app, has pass-through charging, has all the bells and whistles, has a little screen with a fuel gauge. You can get all the data out of the app. This Container X branded Amazon battery made by Imuto. This is 97 watt hours, 99 watt hours. This one can pass through charge also, be charged while it's being used. But we're going to go over the cabling and how to utilize either one of these, and then we'll go into a little more depth on the Anker, because that seems to be the form favorite. So in your package, you're going to have the same elastic sleeve that we used before. That's a handle. And then you're going to have 2 identical USB-C 90-degree 100-watt cables, and then this little adapter guy. The only difference between these cables is the colored heat shrink on the one. We do that so you can tell these 2 cables apart once you plug them into the box. So it doesn't really matter which one goes where. It's just a matter of keeping the ends straight. So the first thing we're going to do is pick one of them. I usually use the colored one to power the dish and the other one to charge. So we're going to take that. We're going to install this adapter on one end. And then we're going to take that and we're going to plug it into the vacant port in the back of the dish. You might have some other cable plugged in there, but unplug that, plug this in. So go ahead and do that. So now that 90 is plugged in there. Then we're going to take the other one. This is going to be our charge cable from the outside to pass power through into the battery. And we're going to plug that into the back side of this outer port. And this makes a pass-through for the USB-C charging. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. Sorry, I'm not left-handed. So that's plugged in there. Next up, we're going to take on the Container X battery. These are both in and outs. So we'll power that up. As soon as you plug this in, you will see it start drawing current, 31, 32, 34 watts. This one plugs in, that's going to be your charge. We forgot, but we're going to put our handle on here. So we'll go ahead and stretch that guy on. Give you something to hang on to. Take those, tuck the cords in. Close the door. Dish is booting. And then we could utilize a car charger if you have it, or any USB-C input. And we will plug that in. I'm going to use an EcoFlow here. Obviously, I don't have my car inside the building, so we're going to use this EcoFlow to mimic your cigarette lighter plug in your car. And we can plug this in. And you'll see that it's charging. So it's charging at 23, 24, 26, 29 watts. You can go in here and look at the screen on the battery pack. Flip that around. You're discharging at 37 watts and charging at 57 watts. So we're making more power than we're using. So that's good. This is a 97 watt hour battery. It'll last about 5 hours. Up next, we have the Anker Prime 27650 milliamp hour. It's a 99 watt hour battery. This is the one that everybody loves all over the forums. We're going to put our handle on there. Has the button on the side that wakes up the screen. Turns the Bluetooth on and off, goes through the settings and everything. Anyway, this is crucial. If you want to be able to turn your dish on and off with the Bluetooth app, you need to plug the dish, which is our blue cable in this scenario, the one that's plugged into here. That port needs to be plugged into the C1 port here, and the charger needs to be plugged into C2. C1 is the only one that is powered, is controllable by the Bluetooth in the app. So we plug those two in. You can see that we're charging at 85 watts still off of our car charger here. It says it's going to be recharged in 15 minutes. Pretty spectacular. We're going to tuck that inside, close the door, latch the latches. You can see our light wherever it is. Oh, it's not on because we haven't turned it on with the Bluetooth yet on the app. We're going to go to the Bluetooth on the app, connect to the battery bank. You see it's charging at 92.5 watts. I'm going to tap settings. We're going to go to port status, change port status from input only to input and output. Go back. Now you see it's booting, 34 watts. Our dish is powering up. You got the blue light there. Now we're charging way faster than we're using power. So this is an infinite setup right here if you're plugged into your car. And then we'll take away the power, unplug it from the car, and you'll see the power charge go away. Now we're discharging at 36, just dropped to 14 because it gave up on searching in the building. One thing that is of note is not all USB-C cables are created equally, so your charge wattage here will vary. This is a 100-watt cord. Also, not all cables are bidirectional, so if it's not charging in one orientation, like that, try it the other way and flip that guy around. Or if you have a straight end like this, flip the other end around if your cable's not bidirectional, if it's not charging. Another cool feature about the Starbox is say you're out, work's ruining your vacation, you got to do some work, battery's dying on your laptop, have to finish that email. You got our laptop here at that same USB-C port that you were charging through earlier. We plug in a USB-C PD100 cord there, plug the other end into our laptop, and we can charge off of the laptop, or charge the laptop off the dish. So charging 68%, unplug it, goes back. Cool feature. Anyway, same thing goes for charging your phone. Additional cool option for the Starbox with a USB-C battery, super flexible. We have the same USB-C cable that we were charging our phone and laptop off of previously. We have a Nicesolar PSP 100N 100-watt flexible solar panel here. It's about the same size as your Starlink Mini. If you're out, you're camping, whatever, need a connection, can unfold this guy. We do not sell these. However, we have used this one, obviously, a bunch. It's lived a not nice life, a little dirty, definitely well tested, but you can kind of see how big that solar panel is. And then just plug this into the USB-C port. Obviously, we have no sun in here, but that will charge and run your Starlink Mini. This will produce about 65 to 80 watts in full sun. It doesn't actually make 100, but it's more than double what your dish is drawing. So you'll be making power. So you can use the battery at night, run the dish during the day with the solar panel while you charge the battery. All right, that's an overview of how to utilize your Starbox and some of the use case scenarios. and how to hook up the different cords. If you have any questions, email us at info@uniquecomponentry.com. We really appreciate the support and your business. Let us know in the comments if you found some other unique uses for your Starbox, for your Starlink Mini. This is one of my favorites, snacks.